Hey guys, Brandon here. Gonna do another MLB the Show video. Thank you guys so much for the support on the last video. It does mean a lot. And if you guys like these kind of videos, please subscribe for more. So what we're gonna do today, I do have a stub method coming later this week, but that's not gonna be the video for today. So I'm just gonna do my settings video like everybody else has done. Obviously everybody has a video on their settings, but I figured I'd just share mine just in case it helps anybody out. These settings will be what take you to the next level of MLB the Show. It'll really help you improve your game, and you obviously don't have to use these settings, but it'll be very helpful, and I'll try to explain why throughout it. So let's go in. First, you want to start with your difficulty. You can just go into user settings, and then the R1, L1. You can either go for beginner, experienced. You should probably go for experienced, otherwise it's gonna like run the bases for you, and you need to learn that for yourself. So go to experienced, even if you're not. You can experience the game that way. So we'll start off in gameplay options. Hitting difficulty really doesn't matter. That's just for, I guess, road to the show and whatnot. But if you're playing Diamond Dynasty, it really won't matter. For hitting interface, you're really gonna want to use zone. You can do like directional and all that, but with directional, you're just not going to be able to get anything on that black of the plate. You're just going to be hitting everything in the middle, so zone's probably the best you can go with. The analog type buttons, and then flick. You obviously want a plate coverage indicator. I would recommend wedge over any of the other ones here. There's a lot of good ones, honestly, but wedge does give you a little dot where you want to, right in the middle, where you want to really line up what most of your hits at. If you're lining up your hits there, you're going to be hitting the ball square a lot of the time, more often than not. So I would recommend wedge. Hitting view. Strike zone's a rough hitting view, obviously. It's actually going to take away the presentation of the game, but it'll really improve your hitting in this game with strike zone, just so you're like right in the strike zone. You're going to be able to determine balls and strikes. It's really helpful, honestly. For in-play view offense, I chose medium. There's like a high mode, but medium's the best for me just because it feels like the old games to me, and I really like that. For whenever you're playing Conquest, I would recommend your guest pitch on Classic. It is kind of a crutch, but if you can have a crutch, use it, obviously. For Advanced and the settings, it's really no different from whatever it starts at. Pitching difficulty doesn't matter. The interface, you can obviously do meter or anything, but with the most accurate, I used to play with meter, but it seems like pure analog is the way to go right now, just because if you miss a little bit, it doesn't always get hit out of the park. Sometimes it goes right, left, and it does really help that way. But if you're using meter, sometimes you'll get it right on, and it'll still slip to the middle of the plate, and you're like, man, what do I gotta do? So pure analog is my favorite for that. I don't really care for pitch feedback. It doesn't really matter. I keep mine on. The pitching view is strike zone as well. Obviously, it takes away presentation again, but when you're using pure analog, you can really see like the needle on it, and you can really be precise with your movements on there. So I feel like strike zone really helps, and plus locating your pitch, you can see the different pixels. I like my pitch trail on. You can, I think it's this one. If it's like Classic, it'll just show you what direction the ball's going to move, but if your pitch trail is on, it's going to show you how it's going to curve and where it's going to actually supposed to end up. Pitch confidence, you want to see how your pitches are performing, so I would leave those on. Pitch delay, you can make it fast, you can make it normal. It really doesn't matter, just however you feel like playing. For your throwing interface, I would really recommend button accuracy. I don't really know how they throw in this game. I've just played button accuracy for the other few years worth of games. So with button accuracy, you're going to be able to throw the ball in the green, and they should always make a good throw, if not most of the time. I think since the defense is a little worse, sometimes they don't make good throws, but I haven't had any issues with button accuracy. I would recommend button accuracy. I like a throwing meter, just so you can, use the meter so you can make sure you're making the good throws. Fielding decisions, I'd never put it on auto. You need to learn that for yourself. That's what comes with the experienced thing. I play defense also on medium. You're going to want to throw cancel on, just in case somebody's running back and forth in between the bases. If you hit L1, it'll actually just bluff the throw and you can keep the ball yourself. It's really helpful. I haven't found a use for one button jump and dive. I'd rather just leave those separate. Defensive shift, I usually turn mine off, but since other people have had theirs on, I'm going to keep mine on and make them hit into the shift. I really don't like that they leave the shift on in Conquest, Diamond Dynasty, anything like that. I think that you should have to manually shift it yourself. It shouldn't make other players less useful. Like when you have Nelson Cruz or something like that, they always have the shift on if nobody's on base, and it just makes that player less usable, or you always have to hit it opposite field, which is kind of annoying to me, but it's whatever. Off the wall ribbon, it's pretty nice to know if they're going to hit the ball off the wall where it's going to go afterwards, so you can go there. And yeah, I think that's for most of it. You can always change your umpire accuracy in the general settings to perfect if you're tired of having balls in the strike zone called balls or strikes in the ball area. I turned my vibration off. I just don't like it to vibrate, but however you like it. Yeah, but besides that, those are my settings. If you guys need to see any other type of video, actually, I guess I'll show my audio. I just turn it almost all the way down. I like to be in parties when I do it, but if you don't like to be in parties, I guess you can have them up. My music's off, obviously, for copyright and whatnot. Yeah, so anything besides that. Presentation, I think, has something. So, pre-pitch cameras. Pre-pitch cameras is where you're about to select your pitch and then it changes your camera like to the outfield or something really stupid. So I turned that off. I don't want to be looking in the outfield when I could be staring at the pitcher or staring at my pitches instead of looking in the outfield. So I did turn that off if you guys don't like that. And now that'll be it. So if you guys need any more videos made, just leave those in the comment section. If you guys would consider subscribing, that would be awesome. And later this week, stub making method, and I'll see you guys with my next video. I don't think that'll be the stub making method, but will be later this week.